لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك له لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. I am Hadiza Bayero Aliyu, standing in for your regular anchor. Welcome to the program as you answer the call. To successfully perform the Hajj rites, intending pilgrims are advised to be in good health. This underscores why pilgrims are being educated on medical requirements to ensure that they stay healthy all through the Hajj period. And so, tonight on the program, we shall focus on how pilgrims should prepare and be mindful of health practices in order to guard against health challenges during the performance of the Hajj. All this in the Spotlight segment. We also have our other regular segments like NAHCON News Diary, which highlights the activities of NAHCON and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry, as well as Making the Hajj, where we educate pilgrims on Hajj rites. We still have the weekly quiz and the announcement of last week's quiz winner. Stay with us as we unveil the program to you.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program begins with a news diary. Top in the lineup, NAHCON management and its critical stakeholders embark on the second phase of pre-Hajj visits. These and other stories after the break.
The management of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has arrived Saudi Arabia for the second phase of pre-Hajj visit and to also monitor Umrah services for Nigerian pilgrims. NAHCON Chairman Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman leads the delegation, which comprises of the Commission's commissioners and other stakeholders. The second pre-Hajj visit offers NAHCON management the opportunity to consolidate on all preparations made on accommodation, feeding, transportation, medical facilities, and many more. Similarly, NAHCON team of inspectors is already in Saudi Arabia to monitor the activities of tour operators to ensure that pilgrims get value for their money. Ramadan period is always the peak of travel for Umrah by Muslims from Nigeria and other parts of the world. Meanwhile, Chairman of Kebbi State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Faruku Aliyu Yaro, has flagged off the distribution of tribal items to intending pilgrims from the state. The ceremony took place early this week at the agency's office in Birnin Kebbi, the state capital. The items distributed include uniforms and bags, among others. Speaking during the flag-off, Faruku Aliyu called on intending pilgrims from the state to complete their registration process, saying the issuance of visa for the 2025 Hajj will be closed on the 19th of April 2025. The chairman then appreciated the Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Nasuru Idris, for supporting the Pilgrims Agency in discharging its responsibilities diligently. In a related development, Director General of the Jigawa State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Umar Ahmed Labbu, says the board has perfected plans to commence the distribution of tribal items to intending pilgrims from the state. The Director General stated this in his office while addressing journalists on Monday this week on the level of preparations for the 2025 Hajj exercise. Umar Labbu further stated that arrangements are almost completed to secure visas for intending pilgrims from Jigawa State. He reiterated the commitment of the board in ensuring that all registered intending pilgrims secure visas.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching as you answer the call. a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and other Hajj-related matters. It is a fact that the Hajj exercise is physically demanding. That is why observing certain health practices is essential to stay energized throughout the days of the Hajj. In addition, NAHCON and the Saudi Ministry of Health have put in place basic health tips, which when followed will enable pilgrims mitigate the health risk associated with the Hajj gathering. Our Spotlight segment will focus on these health tips. Stay with us.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك 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 لا شريك لك لبيك.
As Nigerian pilgrims prepare to join Muslims from other parts of the world for the 2025 Hajj, it is crucial for them to be in good health in order to have a smooth and spiritually fulfilled pilgrimage. With its physical demands and large crowd to contend with, the Hajj exercise can pose health challenges to pilgrims. This underscores why intending pilgrims must have adequate medical information to prepare them for the exercise. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is not unmindful of this requirement and is striving hard to provide pilgrims with health tips on personal and environmental hygiene. Dr. Abubakar Ismail was the head of NAHCON National Medical Mission during the 2024 Hajj exercise. He gives an insight on the need for pilgrims to be in good health at all times, especially by performing the Hajj.
Health is an all-encompassing phenomenon that at the end of the day, without health, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Whatever a human being does, and there is no health, that activity is bound to be affected one way or the other, depending on the degree of the illness that person has. So coming back to Hajj, clearly Hajj, health is one of the fundamental that you need to have in order to perform a high premium Hajj rite, inshallah.
Pilgrims are therefore advised to take precautions and adhere strictly to instructions from medical experts. Such instructions include getting a medical checkup before departure, prioritizing hygiene, staying hydrated, managing stress and anxiety, as well as taking essential medications. Conscious of the importance of maintaining good health and well-being during the Hajj exercise, the Saudi Ministry for Health makes it clear to pilgrims suffering from terminal ailments not to participate in the Hajj exercise.
One advanced cancer condition that is receiving chemotherapy or had already received chemotherapy, that they advise highly not for that person to go on Hajj. Secondly, advanced renal conditions, that's kidney conditions. That it's very difficult for you to not to fall a victim, especially of heat stroke and other conditions, if you have advanced renal condition. Very difficult for you to withstand it. The mother of all is advanced heart conditions, because without heart, none of us can function actually. So they have made it very clear that if someone has advanced heart condition, he should try and avoid coming for Hajj until he's more stable.
Dr. Abubakar speaks on other stipulated conditions.
The other condition is advanced liver condition, such as liver cirrhosis. They have made it very clear that the pilgrim should, with these conditions, should actually avoid coming for Hajj. And Minister of Health in Nigeria and at the state, national and subnational level should as much as possible screen these candidates so that they won't find their way to the kingdom. In addition, they also spoke about conditions such as stroke and neuropsychiatric disorders. For example, cases that actually schizophrenia or advanced generally neuropsychiatric conditions.
In addition, the medical expert gives reasons why children under 12 years, as well as elderly persons, are also advised not to go for the Hajj.
Children that are younger than 12 years, they are also advised not to come because their condition can be highly specialized. Yes, and they will need a specialist to attend to them. Yes, not a general consultant or physician that will attend to the adults. And also the elderly. Elderly above 60 years or around, generally elderly, that have advanced dementia. You know, it's a psychiatric illness that has to do with aging process.
When Hajj occurs during summertime, heat strokes have been identified as the leading cause of deaths. Pilgrims are therefore encouraged to stay hydrated by drinking water frequently.
I think even this year, for example, it's already on advisory here in Nigeria that we are going to witness a heat stroke. Already we are in, from yesterday, day before yesterday actually started, yesterday and today. And it's likely going to really be fluctuating. So generally the advisory is that people should take caution as appropriate. We are not expecting any less because climate change is here. And actually what happened last year will most likely recur, and perhaps it could be even more serious. But we'll continue to lean a close ear to the Saudi Ministry of Hajj. They are very proactive, and before we even get there, we know. But we are not going to take chance. We know it's going to be a perennial problem.
While on the journey, pilgrims can take along some of their prescribed drugs obtained from recognized government hospitals or pharmacies.
For those that have chronic conditions and are stable, the advisory, the guideline from Saudi Authority, Health Ministry of Health says that they should go with their medications in their original pack and a medical report. Any Hujjaj that has chronic condition and he has his medication should secure a medical report and should come with his full medications. Full medications. I think this runs contrary to what the problem we had last year. People were diabetic, they were hypertensive, they had other asthmatic chronic conditions, and they actually were prevented from coming with their, by way of advisory. They were advised not to, which actually ran contrary to the expectation of Saudi government. What they said was, if you are to come with your medication, come with them. Don't come with them separately in sachets.
In addition to this, intending pilgrims are encouraged to engage in physical exercises to make themselves fit to cope with the rigors of Hajj exercise. In the case of pregnant women, they are advised to shelve the Hajj for another time after delivery. This is because of the risk pregnant women are exposed to when performing Hajj rites, oftentimes resulting in miscarriages and loss of lives.
Actually, it's a very dicey situation. But knowing our people, knowing who we are over time, I can assure you I had experience of a 2-month-old pregnant lady, 1 month, 3 months, 4 months, we have seen them. None of them. In fact, I remember one of them. We were looking for whoever allowed this lady to go and throw stones when someone can really do it on her behalf. Go to Jamarat. When even healthy people were dying, and this lady actually traveled with her own husband. And she was allowed to go to Jamarat. And that was how she lost her pregnancy.
Similarly, infections spread very fast in large gatherings like the Hajj. Pilgrims are therefore advised to take preventive measures, especially when coughing or sneezing. Added to these measures, pilgrims are also required to maintain personal hygiene in their residences and other places, as well as avoid unhealthy food. Indeed, by taking health precautions, pilgrims can ensure that they remain fit and safe throughout the Hajj period.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call, and hope you have been guided on important health matters. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Tonight, Professor Musa Olaofe takes us through discussions on pelting the Jamrat. Details shortly after this timeout.
Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam.
The circumambulation of the Holy Kaaba is a pillar of the major pilgrimage.
Arafah is the most significant pillar of Hajj.
Whoever misses Arafah has missed Hajj.
The most important benefit of Hajj is to be born again.
And Al-Hajj al-Mabrur, accepted Hajj, has no any reward except the paradise.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم.
Pelting the Jamarat is an essential part of the Hajj rites. The Jamarat rites revolve around three pillars, namely Jamara Kubra or the big Jamara, Jamara Wusta or the middle Jamara, and Jamara Sugra or the small Jamara.
That is, you do the stoning 1, 2, up to 7. So you pick your paper.
On Making the Hajj tonight, Professor Musa Olaofe explains the imperative of pelting the Jamara by pilgrims during the Hajj exercise.
Every intending pilgrims to the Holy Land, by the time they leave Arafah for Muzdalifah, the next thing to do is to move to a place called Jamra, that is the stoning of the pebbles of the three pillars recognized in Islam, and the one we see categorically all the time when we go to Saudi Arabia. Jamra is the stoning of the pebbles in Hajj period.
Pilgrims begin the pelting of the Jamarat on the 11th of Zulhijjah, and on that day, the focus will be on the big Jamarat using 7 pebbles.
The first day, the intended pilgrims to the Holy Land stoned the Jamrat al-Aqaba, that is the bigger pillar. So that is very close to Mecca, and that's to be stoned 7 good times. That is, you do the stoning 1, 2, up to 7. So you pick your pebbles from Muzdalifah on your way to Jamra. And while you are doing that, you say Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. And when you do that one, then you return back to your tent in Muna for those who can be able to go back. And if you want to proceed to Mecca, you can go to Mecca to perform what we call Tawaf al-Ifada, that is the Tawaf of the completion of Hajj rites. So when you finish that one, then you come back to Muna, and then you shave and start wearing your normal clothes. You remove your ihram.
Similarly, from the 11th to 12th and 13th of Zulhijjah, pilgrims pelt all the 3 Jamarat, each with 7 pebbles, making a total of 21 pebbles. However, the 13th day is optional for pilgrims to do the pelting, also using 21 pebbles, 7 for each of the 3 pillars.
On the second day, then you have to stone the 3 pillars. The first one, 7 times, the second one, 7, the third one, 7. So making 7, 7, 7, 21 on the second day. Then the third day, then you did the same. The first 7, the middle one, 7, and then the last one, 7. So if you add all these things together, you see 21 plus 21. What is it going to give us? It will give us 42 plus 7. Altogether, you are throwing 49.
Upon completing the pelting, pilgrims are recommended to make supplications, particularly when they are done with the first and the second pillars. This they do facing the Haram Masjid or Kaaba. Also, the Islamic scholar explains the circumstances necessitating the pelting of the Jamarat on behalf of another pilgrim.
You can represent somebody to do the stoning of the pebbles. How it's been done is you are ill, seriously, and you cannot even stand to go and do the Jamra or the stoning of the pebbles. Then you can ask somebody to do it on your behalf. That's number one. Number two, if you are old, then to trek from Muzdalifah to Jamra, if you know that it's not going to be very easy, then somebody can assist you to do that one. Why? You will be in your tent in Muna, and then it can be done throughout the staying there. If you know that your condition does not permit you to do the stoning at that very point in time.
The act of pelting the Jamarat has spiritual significance and symbolizes the rejection of evil and strengthens steadfastness in the worship of Allah.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا.
Alhamdulillah, that was Professor Musa Olaofe speaking on pelting the Jamrat. It's now time to know the winner of the last quiz as well as the question for this week. Get your phones ready and good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, list 3 rites that differentiate Hajj from Umrah. The correct answer is Arafat, staying in Mina, and pelting the Jamrat. The winner is Rashidat Adeniji from Ogun State. She provided the answer ahead of others. Rashidat Adeniji will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach her with the prize she won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, on what days of Zulhijjah do pilgrims pelt the Jamrat? Again, on what days of Zulhijjah do pilgrims pelt the Jamrat? Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and the location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages for the week. Keep watching.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
Umar Kyari sent in the first message. It reads, congratulations to the new secretary at NAHCON, Dr. Mustafa Ali. May Allah make his tenure a memorable one. Ado Malumfashi sent in the second message. It contains this prayer. May Allah count us among those who will perform the Hajj. I wish NAHCON the best.
The message segment ends this week's edition of the program. See you same time, same day, and same station next week for another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations, and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms showing on your screen. Ma salam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا